Hey, what's up, guys? So today I'm going to be showing you guys a replay from this past LCS where this was round 7 in the bubble, right? So I'm currently X2 at this point in time. My only losses were to Nets, who went undefeated in Swiss, and against Rafael Reich. And so this match really mattered. And this was the first match of my day 2, and I'm playing against Ryhan Jabri, the YCS Utrecht winner. So this was a really good match. I get to play against a really strong player, and he's piloting zoos, and I'm playing virtual worlds. I win my first RPS or second RPS of Swiss, so I went. Yeah, this was my second RPS ever, so I went 2 out of 8 in Swiss, RPS wise. So an RPS stands for rock paper scissors. So I win this one, and I had no idea what he was playing. So my hand was not that good, so I started off with Foolish Burial Goods to dump the Qinglong, activate the Qinglong to get Lulu. Thankfully, I had the Quan Loon, so I can play. So I get this. I can go Lulu, dump spell, and search a monster. I can't use the spell anymore, and that's why like Foolish Burial Goods kind of like not that good anymore. Or like I only played it because it got me a name, and in this instance, the Foolish Burial Goods like saved my hand. But in reality, like it means that you can't use Qinglong in the rest of your combo, so it kind of like sucks. But anyways, I get Lily here, and I'll use its effect to send the Ning Yang. And I don't send anything else like another spell because obviously I have the spell in hand. So from here, I make Crocosaur to draw a card. I drew into Nib, which I thought was really nice. And then here I go, normal summon Yang Yang, effect to bring back the other one. And I make Juju. And then after that, I used Kuke to banish this to make this a level 9. I theoretically should have just made one of these a level 6 and then just made Shen, which would have been better recovery on my end. But that's definitely hindsight 2020. It's because then I get Nib here, which obviously, like I said before, I should have made Shen instead, because then Shen would be a guaranteed follow-up on the following turn. I make Qinglong and I use it to negate Nibiru. I banish Quan Loon. The reason why I do this is because I have a trap to pop the Nib, and then because my defense is lower than his Nib, and then also because of the fact that I have another pop. But you'll see that the pop is actually going to carry me. So I was able to pop Nibiru. He draws a strike. He does get access to Tenki, but he's going to go Desires first. He draws 2 cards. He got an Avarice Desires, which is not that good. He gets Tanky as Ram, but you'll see that he doesn't actually summon it because he knows it's gonna get popped, and he doesn't have a Zoo to follow up with. So that's why like he doesn't summon that. And I kind of knew for the fact that he did that, I kind of knew that he had nothing. So I draw another trap for turn, which is really bad on my end. But I have a Qinglong engraved, so that's a good follow up. I get Lulu. And then I'm going to dump the trap. I keep Nib in hand because I want that access. Anyways, I use Lulu effect and it's going to get met with Strike. I switch the token to attack mode and swing because that's all I could do. And at this point in time, I have another pop live, so that's going to be kind of nice. But yeah, there's pretty much nothing else I can do here. If I had the Shen and didn't misplay earlier, it would have been so much better. So that's definitely like something I can do, like to learn from. So yeah, if I had Shen, I would have done like a lot more damage. But he also had Ice Dragon Prison. But he could have like Solemn Strike the Shen, right? And then like then I can use Qinglong to search Lulu, and then Lulu would resolve, and then it would just be a lot better. But all good. That definitely was a misplay. Drew into the tactics, which was really bad. But he's gonna Desires into a Ice Dragon Prison and Barrage, and so that helps him play. He goes Ram. I pop it on summon. Shuffle those cards back. I shuffle Trap and Spell because I want another Trap in my deck and I was running out. So he goes Barrage, pop Tanky, summon Rat, make Borbo. He attacks directly. He makes a fat Zeus, which is definitely a misplay because I have Nib, but he doesn't know that. And then I Nib him, and then he's going to Tactics, draw 2 cards. Then he's going to Avarice, draw more cards. And so at this point, like, I'm pretty much losing unless I like draw something crazy. He had double Ice Dragons, all right? Thankfully, I top deck my own Desires, but he's going to Ash it. I attack, Crash. He's going to, yeah. So I pretty much lose this game just because, like, Desires average Tactics was basically a draw 6, and that's, like, way too much, to be honest. Yeah, I go Qinglong, and I Gamma his Ash. and that got me to driver. I was able to make Omega, but then he's just gonna flip Ice Dragon Prison, so I just scoop because I can't beat that. Um, so now I go first again, and he has Nibiru. So what I do is I go E-Telly into the Nyang Nyang. I use Lily on it, so I can dump a trap and a spell to get plays going. I go banish Qinglong to search Lulu, and then from here I'm just gonna dump the Gamma because it's gonna be dead. Then I go Lulu, dump spells, add trap, which is really important. I really needed the trap card because it's really strong against zoos, so I wanted to make sure I get access to trap somehow. Now I banish Desires. I draw 2 cards. I get Duster and Quan Loon, which is like pretty good. I'm gonna make Coral Dragon here. And next I make this a level 3 and I make Crocosaur to draw 2. So the reason why I did all of this instead of making like VFD or whatever was I thought in my head that this was, even though I was over 5 summons, I can go set Kuke, right? So and then attempt to leave the main phase. If he Nibiru'd me here, I can activate Quan Loon to activate another trap from deck, and then I can activate Lao Lao to bring back a Nying Nying, and then I can make Cloud Castle and play through the Nib. And so this was like the best way to let me draw 2 cards and then play around Nibiru. And if he let this pass the main phase, right, I get 2 pops, which was it's really good because generally they only have either a Monster Reborn or a Barrage as their extenders. So this was really strong. And it's crazy because he got punished because he top deck XYZ Encore. So he couldn't even use it on my VFD if I were to make one. So he definitely should have nibbed there, but there was no way he would have known he drew Encore. He drew into Ram and Thoroughblade, so he's gonna go normal summon Ram Thoroughblade. Doesn't use effect. I pop it on summon. I keep my trap baits down. In hindsight, I guess I could have used trapped and then saved the Croc. But and then play around Tactics. So definitely a misplay. Tactics looks at my hand and then he puts it back. I don't know his hand, so I banish, search Lulu, and then I dump the goods. I Feather Duster here though. And then I activate trap. Doesn't use effect. I'll activate Lulu, dump, and then add. Bring back Nyang Nyang, activate GG. And at this point in time, I made Stardust Charge, and this was 1, 2, 3, 4 summons. I wanted to play around Nibiru, so I was already playing around it, so might as well continue to play around it. It doesn't make sense to like just not play around it, then all of a sudden do. So I kept playing around Nibiru, add back Lulu at end phase with GG, and then pass. So I still have double pop and the trap, and you see that he sacks a Pank off the top, which is really good. But you'll see that I use trap to pop Pank instead of Croc pop Pank. The sequencing matters here because if I go trap pop Pank, he will chain Pank to pop Croc. Because if he doesn't, then I can Croc pop his summon. And this lets me keep my trap. If I go Croc pop Pank, he can chain Pank pop trap. And that's really bad for me because then I don't have a trap on his turn, on my turn when he passes. So that's why I did that. So you'll see I go chaining 1 pack, trap, he'll chaining 2, and then he'll pop the Croc as expected. He has no choice. He needs his normal summon to go through. Then he's going to go normal Ram, and of course just make the classic Trident. End phase, he's going to pop the Lulu. And then I'm going to use Lulu effect. He's going to Ash it. Then I use Qinglong effect to search Lao Lao. And then I dump the Nying Nying. I use Lao Lao effect, and he doesn't chain Dryden to pop the Kuke, which was pretty interesting. And I use his effect to bring back the GG. I think the reason why is because he wanted me to play into his 5 summons. Then I make Juju. So this was still under 5 summons. This was my 4th summon. Keep that in mind. And he couldn't out this because I had an Earthworm and an Earthworm. So this became untargetable and undestructible. So what I did was I banished 2. And then I sent it to the grave. But he looked at my graveyard incorrectly and didn't realize after I used Juju effect I didn't have two monsters with same attribute and type, so it could have been popped. Like it could have been chain, and he could have popped this, and then like whatever I summon, he can nib, and it would have been okay. But I still would have won because um yeah, I think I still could have won actually, regardless. But I don't know. Anyways, actually, could I have? Don't think so, because if he chains Trident pop, yeah, I just go attack with charge and then play around Nib, and then he'll be at 400 life. Um, yeah, and just keep my trap live. So I think like regardless, I mean it'll give him a higher chance of winning because he'll have enough for Avarice the following turn. So I don't know. It probably was correct to chain to pop this because he chained and popped the start of the charge, and then I just went and attacked with Juju because I was like that's exactly game. So why would I play into Nib instead of just attacking? So definitely a misplay there. He probably, yeah, I don't know, pressure, I guess. Next I went Nyang Nyang. I go Lulu. I dump spell search trap because even though I already have the trap, I can banish the spell and then get trap access into the grave that way. Then I can go GG dump spell for the follow up. Make Coral and then make Croc. So I do the same play right against Zoo, like the same play. I play conservative, and I draw 2 cards. He didn't Ash it for some reason, but we'll see that he'll Ash my Desires next. Yep, and then I go Ning Ning, and then I use its effect to negate my own Croc. And then I banish the Ning Ning, so then I can use Ning Ning to shuffle back a banish card. Then I set the trap, so I have trap, a pop, and an ogre, because at end phase I'll get back Lulu. So I have a trap, pop, ogre. I'm like, there's no way he beats this. There's no way. I can ogre his barrage. I can pop his summon. He would have to like, and even if he has a monster reborn, I still win. So he nibs me. Smart. And I get back Lulu. So I was like, whatever. I traded a draw 2 for a nib. I'm kind of fine. Draws into a nib, which isn't great, but then he gets Whiptail. I'm gonna go Kuke to pop it, but then he had the Cosmic, so he just like destroyed me there. What can I do? He attacked. I take 2,000 because it was at 1,000 because this is the original, and then he attacks me for 12. I take the 12. He makes Trident and he targets my Quinglong. That made no sense, but I guess he wanted to pop it just so I didn't have access to resources. But then I punish him with the Ogre, and so he got ogred on that, and then now I get massive cards. So I go Quinglong, get GG here, because I wanted to continue my recursion. And then I went summon Pank, special Pank, normal summon Lulu. Then I go GG. The reason why I did this was because it's better to get recursion this way, and then all my traps were banished. So like, if I normal GG then special Lulu, I couldn't get access to my trap because it was already banished. And in hindsight, I should have Ning Ning shuffled back the trap way earlier in the turn, but I didn't expect that. So I summoned the Kwanloon there because Desires really hurt. Like Desires, like you have to constantly check your banish when you're playing Desires. Anyways, I make Juju here, and I thought that was fine. I banished 2 to send, and the reason like I could have kept like these 2 in the grave and then just use Pank to pop the nib and then make this indestructible because it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. And so like but then if he tops like any Zoo, he just makes Zeus and outs the Juju, so that makes like no sense. So it was better to banish 2 and not make this indestructible, to send this to the grave, and then attack for 5,000 and put him in lethal, and then have a Pank pop on his normal summon for any Zoo. So that was just like the better play. So I attack him, I get him down to 2,000 life. And you're going to see that I add back Lulu, and then you'll see that he tops X Alpha, which is nuts. I pop the Alpha, and then he attacks into this. I take 200. And then this, I went search Ning Ning, dump the Foolish Bear Good, normal summon. He pops it on resolution because he knows I have Lulu. Tops X Desires, and I was like, dude, please do not top deck a Zoo. Please. And thank God he doesn't. I go normal summon Lulu, activate Ning from the grave, and I go to battle for game. I could have made like plays, but I decided that going to battle would be the best because he's playing Zoos. So like if he had a Book of Moon, he could have Book of Moon Lulu and then I could only do 15, and then I can E-Telly for game. But if I made a Synchro 6, or like if I couldn't, by the way, because this is a tuner, but if I made like a rank 3 play, like let's say if I made Break Sword and go to battle phase and attack directly for exact game, I lose to a Book of Moon, and if I E-Telly, it's still not game, which gives him like more, which increases his percentages of winning the game and coming back, and I just couldn't allow that. So I made the most optimal play, which is to go battle. I attack. If he books a moon 1, I can E-Telly back and kill him. If he has Ice Dragon Prison, he'll banish 2, so he only takes 15, but then I can E-Telly and still game him even through Ice Dragon Prison, unless he's like smart and Ice Dragon Prisons summons like Juju and then blocks attack completely, which was also an option. But I'm like, if he does that, then like there's no way I was gaming him either way. So like if he has the Ice Dragon Prison, he has it. And then in main phase 2, I can like at least go E-Telly, summon a 3, banish Kuke, and then make my Shen, or like make an Vermilion, and then I can Vermilion pop, and then that would be like kind of okay. So that was like my lines of play that I was thinking of, to be honest. But yeah, I mean he didn't have it, so I didn't get punished, and I played correctly, and that gives me the highest chance to be lucky. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this match and this commentary, and hope you learned a little bit more about the matchups between Zoo. I know you guys wanted to like see the end board, or like what kind of combos I did to end on against Zoo, and this is exactly it. So you guys saw me play conservative, played smart, and that's what you have to do, man. For a deck that like is very sacky like Zoo, you have to play smart and increase your chances of winning through as much as possible. Yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this match. And let me know if you want to see more commentary on my gameplay from this past weekend and how to like play this deck. I obviously made some misplays along the way, but this is a learning experience. I played this deck for about 3 days prior to the LCS at 3 locals. So in terms of actual testing, I only had 3 locals. So I'm still happy with my performance, but like I said, definitely could have been improved. Definitely some things I could have done different. But if you guys enjoyed this, please let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We're almost at 10,000. And if you want to see live gameplay with this deck, with Infernobles or other decks you want to see, check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/pack_official_tzg, where you see this gameplay live. So as always, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.